हेलो। सुबह से कोई लेक्चर नहीं हो गया बेटा आपका?
नहीं सर।
From tomorrow you have examination, I think so, है ना?
यस सर।
Okay, good. So you are preparing well before the examination. You should study well, and your colleagues in classroom who are not doing the lecture. They should know that there is examination. They are knowing, but why they don't take it seriously and why they are not joining the lecture, I don't know. Due to the impact of lockdown. I mean, Mustafa, you joined with the two devices, I think. We'll start today your lecture number 16, and as usual, the interested students they are joining, and due to maybe the class test, only few people are there. But let us start because this lecture is also a recording, and take some basics of the this lecture, and then we will stop because you have also uh, prepare for your studies. Okay, so you know that our unit number two, lifting machine, is completed. Our unit number one is the mechanics and force system we have studied, and in unit number two we have studied the simple lifting machine. Okay, so in unit number one you have seen the significance of the study of engineering mechanics and various definitions we have seen in the applied mechanics, statics, dynamics, space, time, mass, particle body, types of body, rigid and elastic body, then scalar and vector quantities, then units of measurement, and fundamental units and derived units we have seen. Then we have seen the force, unit of force, representation as a force vector, and the Bose notations for the graphical analysis of forces, characteristics and efforts of force, principle of transmissibility of force, and force system classification. All these things you have seen in unit number 1. In unit number 2, you have seen the simple lifting machine, load effort, mechanical advantage, velocity ratio, efficiency of machine, law of machine, and then ideal machine, irreversible, reversible machines, and velocity ratio of different machines, simple axle and wheel, differential axle and wheel, worm and worm wheel, single purchase grab, and double purchase grab. All these machines, we have seen the different uh, velocity ratios. And then the graphical analysis about how to draw the graph between the load versus effort, load versus ideal effort, load versus effort lost in friction, load versus mechanical advantage, load versus efficiency. So all these things you have in unit number 2. Now in unit number 3 you will see the resolution and composition of the forces. Here the forces is not written, but in today's lecture we will start the unit number 3, and that is the resolution and composition of forces. And in that we will study the resolution of force, orthogonal and non-orthogonal components of the forces, moment of force, Vigne's theorem, composition of forces, resultant, analytical method of determination of resultant of concurrent and non-concurrent and parallel coplanar force system. Also, we'll see the law of triangle, law of parallelogram, and law of polygon of forces. And graphical statistics, graphical representation of force, space diagram, force diagram, or vector diagram, polar diagram, and funicular polygon, graphical method of determination of resultant for concurrent parallel coplanar forces system. So we will study in this unit number 3 all this content you have seen, and the unit outcomes are stated before that. You can see the unit outcome for the unit number 3. 3A, resolve the given single force. So at the end of the lecture, you can able to resolve the given single force, okay, into two components, that is orthogonal component we are saying. Then calculate the second outcome of the unit will be to calculate the resultant of the given force system analytically. So you can able to find out the resultant of the given force system. If the system of force is given, you can find out the resultant of the given force system by using calculation. That is called as analytical method. Also, the outcome of unit number 3, the third outcome, 3C, you can see the determine the graphically the resultant of the given forces system. So you can also calculate the resultant of given force system by graphical method. Then outcome of your unit 3, the last outcome will find the resultant of the given force system using different law, that is law of triangle and law of parallelogram. So these are the your unit you are going to study. Uh, these are the outcome of the unit number 3. And one by one, inshallah, we will finish as we have finished the unit number 1 and 2. And also, I am recording the lecture for your friends, those who are not able to join the lecture. And also, you may refer later when you have any doubt, and you may ask doubt during the class also. Okay, so we will start the unit. The objective of the this unit uh, is nothing but to determine the resultant forces of coplanar force system by analytical method. So the objective of this unit will be determine the resultant of forces of coplanar. Coplanar force किसको बोलते हैं? Coplanar force system means the forces are in a single plane. Forces are in a single plane. They are acting on a single plane. So that's why this your unit number 3 is only limited to the system of forces in a single plane only. To determine the resultant force of coplanar force system by analytical method. Okay, if the forces are acting in a space or in many planes, it is not the scope of your uh, in this course. Okay, in this unit. So today, yani in this unit number 3, uh, the objective is to determine the resultant of force of coplanar force system by analytical method. यानी आपके जितने भी फोर्सेस आप एक प्लेन में एक्ट करते हैं उसको फाइंड आउट करना, ये आपको है या यानी ये यूनिट खत्म होने के बाद यू कैन इजीली फाइंड आउट दिस फोर्सेस सिस्टम. So this is the objective. Okay. So if the forces are acting in a single plane, it may be concurrent, it may be non-concurrent, but generally in this we can see the concurrent force system and the coplanar force system. Then the learning outcomes of this unit, you can see here. Find the resultant of given coplanar force system using law of parallelogram of forces and triangle law of forces. So this is the unit of outcome, and also you have the Pythagoras theorem in this unit, and that also you will study, and then the graphical method also in this unit. The law of triangle, law of polygon, law of parallelogram is the learning outcomes to find the resultant of given force system. Then resolve the given single force into two orthogonal components. Resolving the force system in the two orthogonal components will also able to resolve the forces into two components if the forces are in any quadrants of your in the coplanar force system. Then calculate the resultant of a given coplanar force system by analytical method. This is the third outcome of this unit, and you have to at the end of the unit you can able to do all this work what is stated here, and you may learn all these three outcomes, and you can able to do at the end of the unit all this uh, with your own. Then you can see that the utility relevance of this unit with respect to the real life. तो जनरली हम लोग देखते हैं कि रियल लाइफ में हमको हेवी लोड लिफ्ट करना पड़ता है, वेल से हम पानी निकालते हैं, या फिर हम बोट में सफ़र करते हैं, या हमारी कार में सफ़र करते हैं, बाइक चलाते हैं, हर जगह आपको क्या लगेगा कि देयर आर सम मैकेनिक्स, है ना? कोई कोई फोर्स है और कोई रेजिस्टिंग फोर्स है। तो ऑल दिस आर वी आर ऑब्जर्विंग और फेसिंग इन द रियल लाइफ। तो प्रिवेंशन ऑफ एनी ब्लॉक टू मूव डाउन द इंक्लाइंड प्लेन, द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स इन रिक्वायर्ड डायरेक्शन, है ना? अगर इंक्लाइंड प्लेन है और कोई ब्लॉक है और उसको गिरने से बचाने के लिए हम उसको कुछ फोर्स लगाते हैं, है ना? जैसे कि अगर आप देखेंगे कि आपकी गाड़ी अगर स्लोप पर खड़ी है तो आप उसके पीछे कोई भी सपोर्ट लगाते हैं या हैंड ब्रेक आप लगाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से उसका मूवमेंट जो है स्लोप पर वो रुक जाता है ना? दैट इज नथिंग बट ड्यू टू द फोर्सेस योर व्हीकल आर मूविंग, and due to the slope they are moving still. So to stop them, you are applying the brake. Okay. So there are nothing but the mechanics and the forces acting on your car, that is the body, and you can opposing the movement by applying a brake or by putting some stone to stop below that your tires. Then the resultant forces acting on the arrow required for its driving through bow. The resultant force acting on the arrow required for its driving through bow, because every representation we are representing as a bow. Yeah? The bow shows the direction where your force is, uh, in which direction it is going. Because the force is a vector quantity, it has a magnitude, it has a direction, है ना? फोर्स क्या है? वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है, उसका मैग्नीट्यूड है, उसकी कोई वैल्यू है। हम लोग बोलते हैं ना 10 किलो न्यूटन का फोर्स है, 5 किलो न्यूटन का फोर्स है, तो 5 किलो न्यूटन क्या हो गया? ये उसका मैग्नीट्यूड है। और जो एरो हम शो करते हैं फोर्स में, दैट एरो इज नथिंग बट, जैसे कि मैं अगर ये फोर्स बनाऊं, है ना, और मैं इसको बोलूं 5 किलो न्यूटन, है ना, द एरो इज फ्रॉम A to B. Here it means that your force is in this direction. So your force F1, you can say it is in the right direction, having a magnitude of 5 kilonewton. So this arrow shows you the direction of your force, and this, to represent the force, you need a magnitude as well as direction, है ना? तो मैग्नीट्यूड के साथ, यानी जो फोर्स की क्वांटिटी है, वैल्यू है, उसके साथ हमको उसका डायरेक्शन भी चाहिए। देन ओनली वी कैन से दैट द फोर्स इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी, बिकॉज इट्स हैविंग अ मैग्नीट्यूड एंड डायरेक्शन बोथ, है ना? तो आपको समझ में आया? लिफ्टिंग ऑफ कंटेनर इन डिजायर्ड डायरेक्शन विद द हेल्प ऑफ टू मेन अप्लाइंग फोर्स एट सम इंक्लिनेशन विद डिजायर्ड डायरेक्शन। इसी तरह अगर हमको कोई कंटेनर उठाना है, कोई बॉक्स उठाना है, तो दैट इज यू नीड अ फोर्स अप्लाई। दो आदमी रखेंगे एक तरफ से, इफ इट इज लाइट वेरिएंट ओनली वन पैन ऑल्सो, तो यू आर अप्लाइंग द फोर्स एट सम इंक्लिनेशन with the desired direction, so that we can lift the force, है ना? So we are lifting the force in some direction, we are applying the force, and then only by the application of this force, so we can uh, हम साइकिलिंग करते हैं, that is also you can see the wheels are rotating when we are rotating the pedals, and pedals are attached with the chain. Okay, this is a, you can simple axle and wheel, this your uh, cycle is, you can say. So there also you are applying the force by your foot, and the cycle is moving, uh, and there is circular rotation, and you are going forward. So these are nothing but the mechanics you are studying. Also, the sailboat is sailing in the water with certain velocity against wind resistance. तो हम देखते हैं कि हमारी जो कश्ती है जो समुद्र में चलती है, तो इफ आप देखिए कि बागबानी पहले पर्दा लगाया जाता था विंड को कट करके, एंड देन द योर boat is sailing. Eh? Nowadays, many machines are there, and they are mechanical means, and through the large generator, the motors are running. The motor is running the wheels, and the wheels are uh, yani driving the driving force for the sailboat. But you can see in this picture, the wind direction is the boat is opposite to the sailboat, but still he is boat is moving towards the wind direction. है ना? So you can see here, if you will consider it as the point where the forces are acting, so you may see the force of water on the below there is a keel, below the keel, and the sail force, yani the driving force of the is two. So you can see the if you apply the component or resolve the component of forces, the inclination, then there are two forces in the same direction. You can see this force and this force. The resultant of this force are common here, and they are nothing but sum of all the forward forces, and that's why your sailboat is moving. है ना? इस तरह पानी में कश्ती आपकी चलती है. Okay, so that's why everywhere in your life, if you observe the things, there are mechanics. There are mechanics, and you are studying it very well. Okay, so that's why subject is matter. Now, knowledge of the following, the prerequisite of this unit or this subject, you can say, व्हाट वी आर स्टडिंग, इससे पहले भी मैंने बोला कि अगर कोई चीज़ सब हमको पढ़ना है तो उससे पहले हमको कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ना पड़ते हैं और वो हम लोग ने पढ़े हैं. तो फॉर द नॉलेज ऑफ दिस यूनिट, we know the some mathematical formula, mathematical terms we know. That is the prerequisite of this subject when you are going to study. जब आप पढ़ते हैं ये सब्जेक्ट, तो ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने से पहले आपके सब सर्टेन प्रीरिक्विजिट हैं, यानी सर्टेन सब्जेक्ट की नॉलेज आपको होना ज़रूरी है. अगर नहीं है तो ये आगे के सब्जेक्ट आपको समझ में नहीं आएंगे. इसके लिए पीछे जो सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाया गया है, अगर आपने प्रॉपर से और ईमानदारी के साथ आपने वो सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ा है, देन ओनली यू कैन प्रोसीड forward. So subject of mathematics, then subject of you can see the physics. The knowledge of physics is also required. Then knowledge of engineering, graphics are required for drawing the graphical method or finding out the graphical analysis or to resolving the forces in certain direction. So all these three subjects you are already learned in the semester one. So these subjects are the prerequisite of the subject applied mechanics and for this unit also. Also, in unit number one, you have studies the mechanics of the force system, uh, and that is also the prerequisite of this unit number uh, three. What you are going to study about the forces, about the resolution and composition of your forces. So you can uh, also in future subjects, many future subjects such as uh, you are already this prerequisite, you are studies the physics and the mathematics in the semester one. Also, you studied the engineering graphic in same one. Now, here in sem two, you are studying this applied mechanics, and this applied mechanics subject will help you in third semester mechanics of structure when you are going to study, in fourth semester theory of structure when you are going to study. So this, you can say that applied mechanics is the prerequisite of the mechanics of structure and the theory of structure. है ना। तो आप बोल सकते हैं कि मैकेनिक्स ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर जब आप सेकंड ईयर में पढ़ेंगे और थ्योरी ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर आप जब सेकंड ईयर में पढ़ेंगे सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट, तो दे आर प्री रिक्विजिट दिस अप्लाइड मैकेनिक्स सब्जेक्ट। देन design of RCC structure and steel structure in semester 5th, and advanced design of structure in semester 6th. In third year, you can study, and this basic knowledge of your applied mechanics is required here also. So the subject applied mechanics is very important, and you should study well for to understand these subjects in future. So the prerequisite and the post benefit of the subject applied mechanics you have seen here, and it is very important. It is very important that you should study carefully this subject for your future subject. Also, there are some previous subjects you have learned. They are the prerequisite to the applied mechanics, so you should study that. Now, in unit number one, your studies about the forces, system of forces, and units of measurements. So, these very requisite, the force. It is the action exerted by on the body over another body. Its external effect is seen by changes in state of rest or from the state of motion, the body, and that is nothing but it is the external force or external uh, force when we are applied on the body, then it's a state of rest to the changing to the state of motion. And if it is already in motion, when we stop the body, the ball example I also shown to you in unit number one, uh, and when the ball is moving and then it will stop, then it is from motion to the rest because we are applying the force. And if the ball is running and then again we push it, so the speed is also increased और वो fast motion में move होना शुरू हो जाएगा. So that is the force when that is the exerted by the external action on any body. And here body means rigid body. In applied mechanics we are going to study throughout the semester. Now also in prerequisite we have seen uh, in unit number one the coplanar concurrent force system and also coplanar non-concurrent force system. So this also required in this uh, unit. In this unit, this is also required to be studied. Okay, so many students they are joining very late. They should join on time. Then in many forces system, in our scope for this unit number three, there is only the coplanar and concurrent force system. Coplanar force system, the forces are acting on one plane. Concurrent force system, the forces are acting on one point. The forces are acting on the one point. Then this system are called as the this system is called as the concurrent force system. If the system of forces they are meeting on single point, so here you can see the forces are moving at this single point. I have seen in green there. So you can see here, these all the forces they are meeting at the single point. That's why this system of forces are called as concurrent force system. And if uh, all the forces in a single plane, then they are called as coplanar force system. Okay, and because they are meeting at one point, so they are called as concurrent force system. Concurrent force system. And if the system of forces they are acting on the same plane, but they are not meeting a single point, or their line of action not passing through the one point, then that force system is called as non-concurrent force system. Okay. Also, in previous unit, we have seen the space diagram and vector diagram, that is in Bose notation. So we are studied in last class, we are studied the Bose notation. Bose is nothing but what notation we are using, nothing but to show uh, the force system by graphically, and to find out the forces, uh, their magnitude on the vector diagram we are finding out by the Bose vector diagram. So it is in space diagram, it is the diagram in which number of forces acting on a body is drawn in a space to a suitable scale and naming the space in ordered by the Bose notation. Similarly, vector diagram, it is a diagram in which the forces are taken into a suitable scale and they are parallel to their respective lines of action of the forces on the body drawn in the space diagram by maintaining the same order as they are maintained in the space diagram. So here you are converting the your magnitude of the force into the graphical diagram, and by using that graphical diagram you are uh, finding out the internal forces of your component. Now you've seen already this one, if the system of forces they are meeting at the single point, then that is concurrent force system, or if they are in a single plane, then they are called as coplanar concurrent force system. So this is very important, and we are going to learn this uh, in throughout this lecture. Okay. Now the number of forces they are acting on a body, you can say in our single plane, the plane A, we represent the irregular shape you can see here, and the number of forces are acting on this plane, and because they are acting on a single plane, so you can see that the force F1 is here, the line of action is this point. F2 is also line of action of this point, but F3 the line of action is somewhere another place, and the F4 the line of action of force is some another place. They are acting in one plane. That's why they are called as coplanar. And you can see here, that's why they are called as coplanar, because the forces are acting in a single plane. But their line of action or the forces, they are not moving at a single point. The line of action of, you can say, F1 and F2 are the similar. The line of action of F3 is different. Line of action of F4 is different. So likewise, you can see that the different uh, uh, point of action of the forces in a single plane, they are called as coplanar, single plane, but non-concurrent because their line of action or because they are not meeting at a single point. That's why it is called as non-concurrent force system. Now the resultant force system. Resultant force is defined as a single force which can produce same effect as is produced by the number of forces acting together. तो रिजल्टेंट फोर्स किसको बोलेंगे कि हमारे सिस्टम ऑफ फोर्सेस है, वी आर एक्टिंग ऑन द बॉडी, और उस फोर्सेस से हम सिर्फ एक फोर्स अप्लाई करते हैं या एक फोर्स को कन्वर्ट करते हैं, दैट सिंगल फोर्स इज कॉल्ड एज रिजल्टेंट फोर्स. The single force is called as resultant force. In any system of forces, for analysis purpose, a single force is determined to produce same effect as that system of forces would produce on a body. This single force is called as resultant force. तो यहाँ पर आपको समझना चाहिए कि मेन बहुत सारे फोर्स आपके बॉडी पे एक्ट कर रहे हैं और उसको हम कन्वर्ट करके सिर्फ एक रिजल्टेंट फोर्स से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. उसका इफेक्ट जो रहेगा वो जितने फोर्सेस है सेम इफेक्ट रहेगा. एंड दैट फोर्स इज कॉल्ड एज दैट सिंगल फोर्स इज कॉल्ड एज रिजल्टेंट फोर्स. समझ में आया? If resultant force is zero in concurrent force system, the body will be in equilibrium, that is at rest condition. अगर हम बोलेंगे कि resultant force जो आपकी बॉडी पर है, the summation of that force system is zero, then it will be said to be that your body is in equilibrium or in a rest condition. In a rest condition. Okay, then composition of forces. The process of finding resultant force, that is single force to represent the number of forces in the system, is called as composition of forces. The process by which we are finding out the resultant force, that is single force to represent the number of forces in the system, is called as composition of force. तो जो प्रोसेस से हम रिजल्टेंट मालूम करते हैं उसको क्या बोलते हैं? कंपोजिशन ऑफ फोर्सेस. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? दे आर कॉल्ड एज द कंपोजिशन ऑफ फोर्सेस. Amir Faisal, already the time is over. You are closing and you are joining the lecture. So don't do that. Then the law of parallelogram of forces we will see. It states that if two forces acting at any and away from the point be represented in the magnitude and direction by two adjacent sides of parallelogram, when the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the point of intersection of the two forces represents the resultant in magnitude and direction. You can see here the law of parallelogram. क्या है कि दो फोर्स है F1 एंड F2. अगर इसको मिलाकर हम एक पैरेललोग्राम बनाते हैं, you can see the parallelogram here. Huh? It is visible. So we are considering A से B just represent the F1 force, A to D it represents the F2 force, and then we will draw a parallel line to A to B and then parallel line to A to D, that is BC is the parallel to AB, okay, and BC is the parallel to the AD. Then we will get the certain point, that is point C, and then we draw a dotted line to represent the resultant force. So this is the resultant force, so that is R we will find out. So that is the resultant force of is nothing but the law of parallelogram of forces. क्या है law of parallelogram of forces? State that resultant of two forces concurrent force system. Concurrent force system में concurrent means there is starting for a single point. तो यहाँ पर जो फोर्स सिस्टम है, दो फोर्स आप देख रहे हैं, दोनों एक जगह से स्टार्ट हो रहे हैं, इसलिए उसको कौन सा फोर्स सिस्टम बोलेंगे? कंकरेंट फोर्स. So this law is applicable to only the concurrent force system. This law is applicable to the concurrent force system. So they are not for the non-concurrent forces. This law is only for the concurrent force system. And Two forces, concurrent forces will be represented by a diagonal of parallelogram passing through its intersection point of initial sides of parallelogram represent the vector of these forces. तो आप यहाँ पर देखिए कि R is the vector of the force of F2 and the F1, and this R represents the resultant of these two forces. Okay, but in the concurrent force system, so by using trigonometric function, the resultant force R of force F1 and F2, by using this formula that R is equal to the resultant of force, you can able to find by this method under root of F1 square F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. So from this equation, you can easily find out what you will easily find out. You can easily find out the resultant of these two forces, that is R. And the angle alpha, you can, it is making with the horizontal, the resultant force, that alpha, also you can easily find out that tan alpha is equal to, you can, if you proceed this and make a triangle, uh, right angle triangle here, you can see the apparent line BE and CE are made. So if you find out these distances, so you know that the tan alpha is equal to nothing but adjacent upon the opposite. So are opposite upon the adjacent. The opposite of the alpha is CE, this side, and the adjacent of the tan alpha is nothing but for this side, that is AE. Then the tan alpha is equal to CE upon AE, that is F2 sin theta divided by F1 plus F2 cos theta. This will give you the uh, tan alpha value, and then you can easily find out the alpha or angle the resultant making with the horizontal. So this is the law of your parallelogram of force. Then when if angle is 90 degree, the forces are acting in the 90 degree, then uh, you can say that the resultant is nothing but the F1 under root of F1 square plus Ft square, as the case of Pythagoras theorem, you know. Okay, so if you can see the side, this is A, B, C. If you then F4 is representing the A to B, F2 is representing the B to C, and resultant R representing the AC. You know that the theorem is AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. है ना? So there is nothing but AC is R is equal to, if you remove underscore, you said under underscore AB is nothing but F1 square plus F2 square. So that wise you can find out the resultant of forces, if they are orthogonal to each other, then you can find out. When the forces, if their value is if the theta value is 0 degree, then angle is theta is equal to 0 degree. So when theta is equal to 0 degree, you can see that the R is equal to F1 plus F2, because 0 degree, if it's making, the forces are in the same direction, F1 and F2, because they are 0 degree. So the simple addition gives you the resultant of your force system, forces, resultants of your force. Similarly, when theta is 180 degree, so you force, so F1, so it is opposite side of F1, then resultant will be F1 minus F2. Okay, so this is nothing but the sum of the basics of your theory of uh, this today's lecture on the unit number 3, and we will continue this unit 3 further after your test also. Okay, so I think so you are understand this theory, and we will proceed further uh, in the lecture. Any doubt you may ask with me, or otherwise we will stop here.
Sir,
बोलिए बोलिए बोलिए
सर वो जो
क्या बोल
अपना
रहे हैं?
सर जो टेस्ट है वो कल से है कि परसों से है?
5 तारीख से है ना? 5 तारीख कब है? कल है।
सर लेकिन वो कोई नोटिस आया था ना ग्रुप में, उसमें 6 6 6 में से लिखा था।
आप बात कर लीजिए आपके क्लास टीचर से। ओके,
सर क्लास टीचर नहीं है कोई।
मैडम है ना?